Hello, I'm Stan Hall. Welcome to this edition of the Gwinnett Sports Commission's Get in the Game. Since our last show, we have some very exciting news concerning sports events that are headed to Gwinnett. In April of 2013, the PGA will return to Gwinnett's very own TPC Sugarloaf. The new event, known as the Greater Gwinnett Championship, will be a regular stop on the PGA Tour's Champions Tour calendar for the next 4 years, and hopefully for many, many more. Today we're going to take a look at this exciting event, and our guest today is Elissa Dooman, who is the Director of Golf Operations for the Gwinnett Sports Commission and will serve as the director of the event when the PGA Champions Tour rolls into town. Elissa, welcome to the show and thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Stan.
First of all, I understand that welcome is in order. I know that you're new to Atlanta, very new actually. Tell us a little bit about where you came from prior to this stop and a little about your past.
Well, thank you. I just got up here about 4 weeks ago and I came from Tampa Bay, where I managed the Champions Tour event down there for the last 10 years.
So you're coming into Gwinnett brand new,
Yes,
with a brand new event as well.
Very new to this area, but I'm loving everything I've seen so far.
Well, let's talk a little bit about golf in Gwinnett. We all know that, particularly those of us who've been around a while, we all remember the PGA Tour Bell South Classic. It was here for quite a period of time and left in 2008. So even though it was a great event, we're very excited to have the Champions Tour come back into town to back out to Sugarloaf to replace that. Tell us a little bit about the differences between the PGA Tour and also the Champions Tour that's coming here to Gwinnett.
Okay, well, the Champions Tour is actually a division of the PGA Tour, and fundamentally it's the same. These are a collection of professional golfers that compete in tournaments all across the country for charity. Now, the major difference with the Champions Tour is that these are the golfers that are over 50. But these are also some of the most recognizable names in the game of golf.
Well, and let's talk about that because I think that, you know, I love golf. I'm a golf fan, and certainly I watch the PGA Tour like everyone else. But if you asked me to name, you know, several people off the PGA Tour, I'd get down to probably 4 or 5 and then probably couldn't by memory go past that. But when we think about the Champions Tour, there's a lot of names on there recognizable. Who are some of the folks that will be coming to this event?
We expect to see the top names on the Champions Tour coming to the Greater Gwinnett Championship. Some of those players being the Tom Watsons, the Fred Funks, Corey Pavins, Mark O'Mara's, Tom Kites. I mean, I could keep listing these guys. And those are all names that you probably grew up watching.
Yeah, and you know, the names that you're talking about, it absolutely is the people that I grew up watching. And as much as I still like to watch Tiger on the PGA Tour, but when you start talking about the names that you just mentioned, we're talking about people that are not only recognizable to the overall golf world, but some pretty serious accomplishments, even as far as some of the folks who still play in the Masters, for example, that are on the Champions Tour will be here. Tell us a little bit about some of the accomplishments there for some of those golfers.
You're right. We have proven winners on the Champions Tour. You have Hall of Fame members, you have Masters winners, you have Ryder Cup participants and captains. These guys have been very active their entire lives and are very accomplished.
Now, when people play on the PGA Tour versus those folks who are pretty much full-time on the Champions Tour, what are the qualifications for a person to play on the Champions Tour schedule?
To play on a Champions Tour event, they have to be over 50, but they also have to have career victories. They have to place somewhere on the money list that makes them eligible to play in the events. And then there are certain spots that we have available to give to sponsor exemptions as well.
Now, some of the golfers who are on the Champions Tour still play on the PGA Tour, but those folks who are on the PGA Tour cannot play on the Champions Tour unless you said they're over 50, or are they still allowed to come? How does that work out?
That's correct. A PGA Tour player cannot play on the Champions Tour unless they are 50 years or older. But like you said, we still have a handful of gentlemen that still play in regular PGA Tour events. I mean, everybody could probably remember Tom Watson just a couple of years ago making that charge on the British Open, which was very exciting for the Champions Tour.
And he's a regular member of the Champions Tour as well.
That's correct. He plays maybe majors on the PGA Tour.
Absolutely. Now, Elissa, also, there's a little difference on the Champions Tour as far as the actual tournament's concerned versus the PGA Tour as far as the time of the days of the event. Tell us that difference too.
That's correct. Our tournament actually starts on Wednesday and Thursday with our Pro-Am. It's called the Championship Pro-Am. And then instead of 4 days of official competition like the PGA Tour has, we have 3, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and there's no cut for that. So the 81 professionals that start on Friday all finish on Sunday.
Now, some of the folks that are watching the show today have probably are familiar certainly with what a Pro-Am event is as far as a PGA Tour event, but the Pro-Am event for a Champions Tour is different than the PGA Tour Pro-Am as far as accessibility and things like that. Tell us a little bit about what the Champions Tour really brags about as far as the Pro-Am portion of that tournament week.
The Champions Tour as a whole and their golfers are the most fan-friendly and accessible of any professional sports organization, really. So when you're playing golf and playing in a Pro-Am with these Champions Tour professionals, they're interacting with you. They're giving you lessons. They're talking to you. They don't just hit their tee shots and take off. It's really a true foursome of amateurs with the Champions Tour professional all playing together.
Now, and I want to talk a little bit more about the Pro-Am, but let's move forward a little bit as far as the actual tournament is concerned, because the Champions Tour also has an opportunity for the golf fan, if you will, to literally and figuratively be behind the ropes when the actual tournament's going on, as far as it's called a designated observer, or what's it called? Or
it's called the Honorary Observer.
Honorary Observer.
Yes, Honorary Observer program, and there's 12 groups of 2 people that go out each round, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they literally walk inside the ropes with these professionals while they're playing and competing.
Right.
Exactly. So these guys are out there making their money, and you have actual spectators or special guests that get to walk inside the ropes.
Now, the week of the tournament, like any other event, there's a whole lot of things going on the week of that event other than just the golf tournament. For example, I know that on the 2013 Greater Gwinnett Championship event, that you also have teamed with also a Celebrity Am tournament that's going to take place on Sunday and Monday before the Pro-Am with Atlanta Falcons' Matt Ryan. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, we're very excited to be partnering with the Matt Ryan Foundation and bringing his charity event, which like you said is on Sunday and Monday, to our tournament week. We really think that'll help elevate our event and their event and make it a really great time for spectators and sponsors alike.
So it's going to be a full week of golf, obviously, and you know, for those people who not only love golf but also like to see some celebrities in and about, this might be a good people watching opportunity for them as well. So
exactly, and Monday is free admission for tournament spectators.
Now, Elissa, other than golf, I know that you guys are talking about some other things that'll take place in tournament week too. Maybe some special things as far as business women I've heard about, and also some focus on our children in the neighborhood too. Tell us about those possibilities. I know you're still sort of evolving with your actual plans, but tell us about that.
We're in the very initial planning stages of a Women's Executive Day, which will bring in not just the golf aspect, but really a networking function, a panel of local women, and as well as a keynote speaker that these ladies are going to get to hear from and interact with. And then on Saturday, we're going to have a Kids Day out at the golf tournament to encourage families to come out and enjoy everything together and really expose these children to golf. So we plan to have a full day of festivities for the kids.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to get into probably the most important part of the whole event as far as the charitable affiliations that the Greater Gwinnett Championship will have. I want to talk about that and also some sponsorship opportunities as well.
Okay.
We're talking today with Elissa Dooman of the Greater Gwinnett Championship. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Something new makes its way to the city of Atlanta. A city already rich in golf history welcomes the legends of the game, like Freddie Boom Boom Couples, Fred Funk, and Larry Nelson. The PGA Tour has been crowning their season's best in the Jewel of the South for years at the Tour Championship.
Brant Snedeker is the 2012 Tour Championship winner.
But now, it's their turn.
And it feels like just too close to love you. So I'll be on my way.
This might go down as one of the best shots I have ever seen.
In dramatic fashion, Tom Watson.
So I'll be on my way.
Oh my!
All eyes will turn to the Champions Tour at TPC Sugarloaf, as each player will vie to become the first ever Greater Gwinnett Championship winner. Set to play April 15th to the 21st, 2013.
Welcome back to the show. We're talking today with Elissa Dooman of the Gwinnett Sports Commission, also Director of Golf Operations and the Director of the new Greater Gwinnett Championship, a PGA event coming in April of next year. Elissa, before the break, we talked about some of the comparisons for a Champions Tour event versus the PGA Tour events. The one thing we didn't talk about was the purse. Tell us a little bit about the purse, because I know that's an exciting aspect, particularly to the golfers, but the fans as well, as far as what you'll offer with this tournament.
This competition, all of our Champions Tour professionals are going to be competing for a $1.8 million purse, which is pretty exciting, and that's a nice sizable purse on the Champions Tour.
Now, this event, and I know that most of my golf observation is done based on those events being televised. I'm assuming that the Greater Gwinnett Championship will also be nationally televised as well?
It will be. It will be broadcast on the Golf Channel on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And some of that's live and some of it's tape delayed, or how does that work?
Potentially, we probably will have a mixture of the two. We don't have our official air times yet, but we will have those soon, and we'll post them on our website.
Now, the PGA events, whether it's the PGA Tour or the Champions Tour or whatever it may be, the one thing that they're truly known for is their charitable giving. As a matter of fact, each tournament that takes place has a charity they're associated with, where they literally give back to the community based on the event coming into town. And the Greater Gwinnett Championship, I'm assuming, is no different. I know that you recently have released your charitable affiliations. Tell us some of the groups that you're involved with as far as this event's concerned.
Yes, it actually is a pretty uncommon fact that all PGA Tour and Champions Tour events are not-for-profit events. And we did announce our charities. This year's recipients are going to be the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, Georgia Gwinnett College, Gwinnett County Education Foundation, the Gwinnett Children's Shelter, and Gwinnett Tech Foundation.
So you've covered, I'm just listening to you, but you've covered health and education for children. That's a pretty good target. So
that was our primary focus for this year.
Yeah. Now, these groups will work not only as a recipient of funds, but I'm assuming they'll also be out there working with you to get their mission statements out there, to be participating in the tournament in some way as well, too.
Exactly. They're all going to have booths in our expo area, so people can come by and find more information about their great causes.
Yeah. The good thing about the tournament as it applies to our charities, as you noted, is that it really does give the tournament a chance to give back directly to the community where this event's taking place in Gwinnett. And all the charities that you listed, certainly, again, having been here for a long time, I know them all very well. And that is a great sampling of people who are so deserving of those charitable funds, and that's a great relationship I know that you'll have with those organizations too. And we want to encourage everybody to be a part of the tournament, if no other reason, just to support those charities which are so much needing those funds as we go forward. I think what I want to finish up today with is, since we've sort of, our main theme has been comparing the PGA Tour event versus the Champions Tour events, I think the one thing other than that fan-friendly aspect that you talked about and the opportunities that are available to golf fans. But on a business side of it, the marketing, sponsorship, branding opportunities that are available at a Champions Tour event are really unrivaled by anything. Tell us a little bit about what this event brings to our businesses in Gwinnett who want to be involved in this tournament.
Exactly. The Champions Tour event that we're bringing is going to be a wonderful platform for all businesses, no matter how large and small, to get their products and services out to not just the Gwinnett community, but everywhere around as well. There's logo placements from hole signs up into title rights for our Wednesday, Thursday Pro-Am, as well as a club facility that we're going to have on the 18th green with open bar and buffet, so you could have the title for that venue as well. But there's all kinds of marketing opportunities.
I think that, you know, I've read a little bit about the Champions Tour events, and they all seem to have sort of a concentration on the business-to-business opportunities where local businesses can be involved and bring their customers in to see a professional, quality sporting event up close and personal as you can get. So this is a great opportunity.
It is, and it all goes back to being fan-friendly and accessible. If you buy a skybox on our 18th green, you're more than likely going to see a Champions Tour professional come in there and shake hands with your customers and really give them a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Absolutely. Now, I know that as we tape this show, we are still early in the planning of the event, but for the people who are watching today, just for those folks who want to go watch some good golf, what is the ticketing situation? How would they go about getting tickets? Can they get it this early?
They can, and it's very affordable. Our general admission tickets start at just $20 for the day, and they can go to GreaterGwinnettChampionship.com in order to purchase those tickets.
And there's an opportunity on there to, on the website that you mentioned, to really learn about sponsorship opportunities, volunteer opportunities, and I want to talk to you a little bit about that because I know that any event that rolls into town, not only do we need the community support, not only do you need the business support, but it takes a whole lot of people other than just you to put this a tournament on. Let's talk about volunteers. How many do you think you'll need?
We think this first year we're going to need about 600 to 650 tournament volunteers, and as we grow, that number is just going to continue to increase. So we really need the community support to come out and help us out in that area.
Now, your website talks about different functions that they might be volunteering in and how to get their name in the mix, if you will, if they want to be involved?
Exactly. We have volunteer positions from marshaling on a specific hole to driving around shuttles, to checking credentials in hospitality areas, to walking around behind the ropes with the professionals doing the scoring.
And they'll also have some lovely apparel that'll be indicative of the event that they're involved with, I'm assuming so.
They do. All volunteer packages will include a tournament volunteer shirt, outer garment, hat, as well as tickets to the event.
That's great. Well, Elissa, thank you for being with us today. We wish you the best of luck with this tournament. I can't tell you as a Gwinnettian how excited we are to have the PGA come back into town. We've missed them since they've been gone, and I know this is going to be a great event.
Thanks for having me, Stan.
Thanks for being with us. That's all the time we have today. If you have questions or comments about today's show or ideas for future shows, you can reach us at the phone number or the email address shown at the end of the show. Thanks for being with us. I'm Stan Hall. See you next time. And by the way, get in the game. Goodbye.
Something new makes its way to the city of Atlanta. A city already rich in golf history welcomes the legends of the game. Like Freddie Boom Boom Couples, Fred Funk, and Larry Nelson. The PGA Tour has been crowning their season's best in the Jewel of the South for years at the Tour Championship.
Brent Snedeker is the 2012 Tour Championship winner.
But now, it's their turn.
And it feels like
This might go down as one of the best shots I have ever seen.
In dramatic fashion, Tom Watson.
I'll be on my way.
Oh my!
All eyes will turn to the Champions Tour at TPC Sugarloaf, as each player will vie to become the first ever Greater Gwinnett Championship winner. Set to play April 15th to the 21st, 2013.